Hello everybody and welcome to Let's Play Kerbal Space Program. You may remember a very long time ago I did a couple of videos on this game in version 0.17 I believe it was. We're now on the full release of the game and there is a campaign. I'm going to start a game here. I'm going to start a new game. I fiddled around a little bit. I'm going to change my player name to Jimbo Spike as always. We're going to play on the career mode and we're going to go to the difficulty options. I'm going to play on normal difficulty, but I'm going to turn off the no entry purchase required on research. You have to actually pay to get things in the research. And missing crews respawn. So if we lose anybody, then it's permanent. Everything else is going to be on 100%. Starting funds 25,000, starting science 0, starting reputation 0, and accept. And start. And we're going to overwrite that. Wait for the game to load up. Nice to meet you. I am Gene Kerman, Flight Director and your guide for this quick introduction. This is the Space Center. From here you can manage all aspects of the space program. Feel free to have a look around. Hold the right mouse button to move the camera, or use the arrow keys, or right click over Space Center facilities to view more about them, and left click when you're ready to head inside. If you need more information, check out the training section on the main menu. Thanks, I've got it. Okay, well, we have our runway here. The runway spacecraft built in the spaceplane hangar have a long flat surface to reach takeoff speed. Conceivably, such aircraft could even land back on it. Fully operational, facility level 1, it costs that much money to upgrade. And it's got a max vessel size, upgrading would increase that, and the weight would also increase. And then we've got the launch pad over here. The launch pad is where vessels built at the VAB, our Launch Vehicle Assembly Building, are launched. We are reasonably confident that it's safe enough distance from everything else. Maximum size, maximum weight, so we can upgrade that to increase them. And then we've got the tracking station. At the tracking station, all ongoing missions can be viewed and focused. Landed aircraft can be recovered from here as well. Orbits visible in the map, and if we upgrade it, patched conics visible on map. And then we've got the Vehicle Assembly Building, maximum parts supported. We can only have 30 parts on our ships at the moment. If we upgrade that, we can go up to 255, and basic action groups are available. The Vehicle Assembly Building is where spacecraft are designed and built before being moved over to the launch pad for flight. We've got the mission control. At the mission control facility, all available contracts can be managed. It also offers a very nice view of the launch site. For any who are brave enough to be so close to a launching craft, maximum active contracts is 2, we can upgrade that to 7, and tracking station upgrade required for flight planning. And we've got the Vehicle Assembly Building, pretty much the same as this, but this is more horizontal and this is vertical. Pretty much the same upgrades. Then we've got the Astronaut Complex. The Astronaut Complex contains the living crew and recreational spaces for all our crew members. New appliances also apply here to new applicants, also apply here to be recruited. Facility level 1, fully operational. Capacity 5 active Kerbals. Kerbals can only disembark on Kerbin. We can upgrade that for 12. Kerbals can perform EVAs and Kerbals can place flags. And then we've got the Administration Building. The Administration Building may not seem like a very exciting place at first, but here is where all our strategic decisions are made. Max active strategies 1, maximum commitment 25%. Okay, no repairs needed. And then here, one of the most important buildings, the Research and Development. At the R&D facility, a team of scientists work hard to crunch the data received from missions experiments. Here all research technologies can be viewed and new ones discovered. Research science limit is 100 at the moment. Upgrade that to 500 if we pay a lot of money. Astronaut complex upgrade required for EVA surface sample. Resource transfer available. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to want to do is go here. And this is where we can get missions. We have some active missions already. Gain an altitude of 3,500 meters, set a distant record of 5,000 meters, and set a speed record of 150 meters a second. None failed or cancelled or completed at the moment, and we can have 2 available. So, launch our first vessel. We'll get a little bit of advanced money. Completion, we will get this much money here. We'll get 1 science point and 2 points of reputation. If we fail that within 2 days, 5 hours, and this many minutes and seconds, then we'll get a penalty. And we're going to accept this contract and gather scientific data from Kerbal. We will get a nice amount of money when we complete this, and in advance, a nice amount of research and reputation. Objective, recover or transmit any science experiments data from Kerbal to achieve this goal. Objective, goal, incomplete. Just give us a quick crew report before launching. It's fine if any of the lights on the ground control power fashion, just give it a swift kick. We shall accept this contract as well. To you too. And that's the maximum we can have. We're going to close this. And now we are going to go to our vehicle assembly building. Hello, I'm Werner von Kerman, Chief Rocketry Engineer. This is the vehicle assembly building. Here is where we would build spacecraft and later roll them out to the launch pad for flight, which is way over there. Pretty impressive, isn't it? Yeah, it's not too bad. Once you're on your left, you'll find components to construct your own spacecraft. Select a starting part and then attach others to build a ship. You can then have a look around with right mouse button or the arrow keys. That's it really. It's not as if we were rockets. Anyhow, if you need a little more in-depth explanation on how to build, have a look at the training section of the main menu. Got it. Okay, well first of all we're going to want to build a Mark 1 command pod. Just click and it places it. And we can't get any fuel tanks at the moment. We can get a solid fuel booster. I'll click on U and I'll place it at the bottom here. No command and control. We got modular girder segments. New, build the structure of your dreams with the Maxo Construction Toys Modular Girder segment. Don't really use them that much. Aerodynamics, basic fin. This simple bolt-on aluminium fin may not be the cutting edge of aerospace engineering, but it's dirt cheap and will make your rocket slightly less unstable. Just have a read about the engines. While considered by some to be little more than a trash bin full of boom, the RT-5 can be seen use in many space programs, perhaps possibly because it's the only option for many space programs, but nevertheless, this small booster provides a nice kick to lift small payloads into considerable heights. Use with caution though, once lit, solid fuel motors cannot be put out until the fuel runs out. And then there's the Mark 1 command pod. Originally built as a placeholder for a demonstration mock-up of a rocket, the Mark 1 command pod was heralded as a far safer and more reliable option than its predecessors by rocket scientists throughout the world. It is commonly seen in active service. And then you've got things like mass, crash tolerance, maximum temperature, it can tolerate crew capacity, electric charge and monopropellant. And let's go to utility. We've got the Mark 16 parachute. The Mark 16 parachute might be considered by some to be little more than a random stitching together of the surplus parts in it. In fact, made from. But the fact remains that the Mark 16 has been widely accepted as generally better alternative to being in freefall. And then we can right mouse button, get a bit more information on it, you know, deployment altitude, minimum air pressure, so on and so forth. And we're going to click on this and we're going to place this on the top. And science, we have these mystery goo containment units. I'm going to click this and I'm going to click this here for symmetry mode so I can have one either side. And I'm going to place them here. So we got 2 mystery goo containment units. This unit was something one of our engineers came upon while dumpster diving, while researching alternative applications for existing technologies. It's a sealed container which appears to be filled with a strange looking substance. We couldn't reach in or break the canister open. Watching how the goo behaves when subjected to different situations can be very educational. Okay then. Well, that's all we can pretty much add to the ship, but first of all I want to add another stage because I don't want my parachute and my rocket going off at the same time, so I'm going to drag this down here. And there we go. What should we call this ship? I'm going to give it a name. Oh, we're not even going to get off the planet with this shit. Let's call this the Booster Mark 1. And we're going to save this. And we're going to go to the launch pad. Oh, and I didn't choose my crew, so it should automatically go to Jebediah. Jebediah coming over here. So we've got a very small rocket here. We can get him to EVA. You can go out in the ship and we can go right click on U, EVA report. This is a most precarious situation. Well, I'm going to keep that data. I'm going to right click here and store the experiment. We're going to observe the mystery goo. Oh, can only be controlled by a scientist. So if we get back in, we're going to observe the mystery goo. The goo doesn't seem to be doing much right now. Get 3 science for that. We'll keep that data. And we're going to do a crew report. Get 1.5 science. Keep that data. And then we're going to go EVA again. We're going to take the data and store the experiments. Collect that data. Remove the data. Module will be inoperable. That is fine. And we're going to store that there as well. Crew report. There's no crew in there at the moment. Okay, so we are going to get back in. We don't need to worry about the thrust, but I can hold down the shift key to increase it. And what we need to do our first stage is press the spacebar. I'll fire the rocket, and next time I press the spacebar, it will launch the parachute. And while I'm in flight, I'm going to do another crew report, and I am going to observe this mysterious goo when we're flying. Okay, and 3, 2, 1, go. Observe mysterious goo. We've got that. Do a crew report. Keep that data. And we're just floating up. We've got little messages up here. Let's close this. Contract complete. Set a speed record of 300 meters a second. We've got that much money and reputation. Speed record of that much. Money, reputation. Launch our first vessel. Money, reputation, and science. And set an altitude of 3,500 meters. Very nice. Well, let's close this. And we are now free falling towards the planet. Jebediah is absolutely loving it. I'm just going to wait till I'm a bit closer to the ground. We can speed up time, but we'll be back there in no time at all. When I'm at about 1,000 meters, I'm going to deploy my parachute, and I can actually use the controls to tip the ship one way. 3, 2, 1, deploy. And at 500 meters, it should open up, slow me down. And here we are coming to the ground at 6.5 meters a second. We should be able to tolerate the impact. This is the height to sea level. And we landed. We didn't make it too far away, did we? We're probably not even halfway back to the vehicle assembly building, but we are now back. So I'm going to scroll up here and recover the vessel. And we've got lots and lots of money now. We've got lots of science. Crew report, we're flying over Kerbal shores, 3.5 science. 1.5 science. Crew report from launch pad. EVA report of flying, 5.6. Mystery goo observation, 3. Mystery goo while flying, 7. And recovery of a vessel survived a flight, 5 science. 36 science in total we have. Very nice. Parts. We've got money back from collecting the parts, which is very nice. And crew, Jebediah gained 1 experience. I'm going to go check this. We've got 10 experience for gather scientific data. Let's discard you. And now we're going to go to the R&D department. We start off with Start, which gives us the basic fin, command pod, all the ones I've shown you before. Now, with the 36.6 science I have, I'm going to get basic rocketry, which will give me the LVT-30 Reliant liquid fuel engine, the solid fuel booster, and the fuel tank. I'm going to research that, and I'm going to purchase all 3 parts. You can just buy the ones you want if you really want to. I'm just going to buy all 3. And engineering 101. It's going to give us the Mark 1 cockpit, the SC 9001 Science Junior, it's over 9,000. Communitron 16, basically for sending our information through space, so we don't have to actually land, and the stack decoupler. I'm going to research that. And I could get one of these here, but I'm going to leave that for now. We're going to close this. We're going to go back to the vehicle assembly building. And we're going to remove this booster. And we're going to go to stack decoupler. Did I not buy them? Don't save. I think I forgot to buy them. Yes, I forgot to buy. Purchase for 8,140 funds. It's very cheap at the moment. Now we'll go back here. For some reason it's still missing. And instead of actually going for a full-on engine, I'm just going to do it in little stages. I'm going to place this one here, and then I'm going to get the RT Flea solid booster. As you can see, no, sorry, the RT10 has a lot more thrust, has a lot more fuel, it lasts a lot longer. So I'm going to place this here, and we should be setting some new records. If I go to here, achieve land distance records, speeds and altitudes. So I'm going to call this the Blaster Mark II, or the Booster Mark II, sorry. And I'm going to save this, but first I'm going to exit and see if there's anything else we can get in contracts. Let's go over here. Escape the atmosphere and orbit Kerbin. Well, I'm going to try and escape the atmosphere. I probably won't. Orbit Kerbin, we're a long way from that yet, but I may as well accept it, get a little advance in money. To you too. Now, we could upgrade our buildings, but I'm going to save off on that for now. We're going to go to the launch pad, and we're going to use Booster Mark II. We're not going to use Jebediah, we're going to use Valentina. And let's go to the launch pad. Now, pilots have a thing called control, which they can use SAS without any components on the ship. If I press T, it turns on my SAS, and that stops the spin from tilting out of control, going left and right, going in a spin. It's not really needed on these basic rockets, but it is needed later. I'm just trying to get everyone at least one experience. I'm going to turn off the SAS because it does use electric charge while it's in use. So first of all, we're going to have the booster launch me, then we're going to have the decoupler, which is going to separate this from the capsule over here, and then this is going to float down because I think this would be too heavy for just one parachute. So I think we're ready. Just going to press Z to max my thrust. Not going to make any difference. And we've done an EVA here already, so we're going to launch. 3, 2, 1, space. And as you can see, we're going a lot higher, a lot faster. There's our fuel going down. A little bit of a tilt, so that's okay. And the smoke's just disappeared. Are we going to set any new records? Altitude, maybe? Let's see. Let's observe the mysterious goo. We get 1.6 science for there. It's not too bad. Altitude of 7,500. Okay, we'll discard you. Got a bit of money and reputation. I'm going to press the space key. And we've separated from there. And now we're falling towards the planet, going to land in the water by the looks of things. And there's the bit we just jettisoned, the debris. Falling a little bit slower than we are. I'm going to wait till I get to about 2,000 meters, and then I'm going to deploy the parachute. We're falling towards the ground. I don't think we've quite made it 5,000 meters away from the astronaut complex, but that's okay. Here we are, coming in for a landing. Let's deploy the parachute and wait for us to land. And while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to pour myself a drink of Coke because I'm a little thirsty. Parachute is deployed. And the other part of the ship, the debris, could be coming in any moment. because it hasn't got a parachute. Where is it? Oh, it just crashed over there. That's where it went. And you can see when we get to 0 is when we'll splash down in the water. Have a sip of my drink. Very nearly in the water. Splash. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reserve this mystery goo. The goo escapes into the water. I've got 4 science for that. I can do a crew report. I've got 2 science for that, not bad. And then I can do a EVA report. Most precarious situation. Keep the data, and then I'm going to take the data from here, store the experiments, and then if I press the space key, and now I'm technically standing instead of hovering above the water, I can do another EVA report. I don't think a spacesuit was entirely necessary to get here, was it? We get 2.4 science, which all adds up. We're going to keep that data. And we are going to grab the ladder again, get back on board with the B key, and that's it. We're going to recover the vessel. What do we get this time then? We got 16.4 science. We got some money back and some fuel as well. And Valentina Kerman gained 1 experience. Well, that's that done. Okay, now we could spend a little more science, but I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm going to go back here. Going to take off this engine, throw it away. I'm going to get a fuel tank and a LVT-30 reliant liquid fuel engine. Although criticised by some due to their not insignificant use of so-called pieces found lying around, the LVT series engines have proven themselves as comparatively reliable. The T30 model boasts a failure and rattly bits ratio below the 50% mark. This has been considered a major improvement over the previous models engineered and LVT enthusiasts. I'm going to place this on here. This is basically a solid fuel booster, and this is a liquid fuel engine. So we're going to call you liquid fuel engine. I think we don't need a space there. Mark 1. We're going to save you, and we can change the crew inside. This time we're going to take Bill Kerman, who's an engineer, and we're just going to test out this liquid fuel engine because we haven't seen it yet. Let's go to the launch pad. Let's see how well it does on its own, shall we? We've got our staging, and this one we can actually control the thrust on, so I'm going to go maximum thrust. We have no SAS control because he's not an actual pilot, he's an engineer. And in 3, 2, 1, launch. The fuel won't last very long, but we've got a nice amount of thrust though. And we're in a spin. Let's press the space key to separate that. We're still going up. Not going to set any records though, unfortunately. Let's go with a spin, get us the right way around. Should be falling in a second. There we go. And because this part of the ship is heavier, it should be falling towards the mark there on the nav ball. We'll go more into the nav ball later when we're actually using it. There is the moon over there. And there is moon. I can't see Minmus in the sky. Oh well. Let's press the space key because we are falling quite rapidly to the ground. Should slow our descent. There it goes. Is it going to crash on the building? Oh, not quite. Oh, nasty. And we are now floating down to the ground. Now, it is entirely possible this could be a different biome to this area over here. So let's just do a crew report. Crew report. over Kerbal shores. No, unfortunately it didn't quite count. We set that experiment. You can go to these, like for example, the runway and other areas in the Space Center. It will count as different biomes. What about observe mysterious goo? 0.4 science, not really worth it. What about you? From the vehicle assembly building. Nice, we've got 3 science for that. So we're going to do a crew report. 1.5. We're going to get Bill out to do an EVA. We're going to do an EVA report. Most precarious situation. We'll reset that experiment. Climb down onto the ground. Let go. EVA report. From the vehicle assembly base, we've got 2.4 science. We'll keep that. And grab you. Go up a bit and get back in. And recover the vessel. That's a little bit of science. And we tested out the liquid fuel engine. There we go. We got a little bit more science. We're up to 50 now. We've got some parts back and some money. And Bill Kerbal gained 1 experience. Well, I'm going to call that it for part 1, guys. Make sure you join me for part 2. I'll see you then.